10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yeah, I went a little bit Arnold on that too.
It happens, you know. You get in there and you have to do what you got to do.
You boys like eating pussy.
Did you actually ever see Arnold's that one interview with him that fucking I forget what he's talking about smoking cigars, and he's like, I could do whatever I want because Marina's dad told me I can because I am not small like you little people.
I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
Yeah, when you get adult, you drink beer.
Dude, today I was just like, dude, can I open these?
Is that why they're fucking empty?
Well, I ain't gonna lie. As soon as I opened them, I grabbed an entire row and I went back to the couch. Because if I stayed in the kitchen, I can eat it. Dude, I have been known to take a box of Samoas, throw it in a bowl, and dump milk on it, and go to town. That's with no weed in my system. Now, back in my weed smoking days in high school, because I would take the cereal box, crush it in long ways, dump milk in it, and sit down and watch Beavis and Butthead.
Cool.
I don't know, man. I couldn't get too much into cereal, being that I was like lactose intolerant. So when I actually did like go on a cereal bender, I paid for it dearly.
I never had a problem with the dairy.
Really?
The one time I did have a problem with dairy is when I came back from Iraq the first time. We lived on fucking MREs for 4 months straight.
Right.
Then I found myself on ship, and it's like, boom, all of a sudden I'm eating food. Well, the ships we were on, they had all the air support we had in Iraq in 2003 that came from the West Coast was part of this fleet of ships. I was on the USS Boxer on the way home. So all the food stores that are on it are picked up from the stateside when they start going that way.
Right.
So you got to imagine by the time you get over there and sit around in the freaking Persian Gulf and all that stuff for as long as they did, you start to run low on food stores, so you got to resupply. And I imagine they got the stuff from like Saudi Arabia or Kuwait or one of our allies or whatever.
Right.
But it wasn't until on ship, after about a solid week of me being super stoked that we had milk again and drinking it every fucking morning, that I was literally shitting my intestines out of my body like nonstop. Well, on top of not being used to dairy anymore, I'm pretty sure it was like goat's milk.
Oh yeah,
because it had an extra richness to it.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna ask because like when we were in Afghanistan, it wasn't milk, dude. Like,
oh, that's powdered.
No, but like even the shit that had like, you know, it was boxed up, it was packaged, it was like some fucking nasty shit from Kuwait, and it was like it had to have been goat's milk, dude. There was no way this came out of a fucking cow.
No, I love goat's cheese. Like when it's like real dried, that crumbles like that. Mm-hmm. Like I'll just eat the stuff like on crackers with a jalapeno slice or something. Awesome. But there was just something about that milk on ship. Maybe the the bacteria colonies in my guts were all screwed up or whatever. That's what it was. But I'm pretty sure that shit was like something I was not used to anymore.
There might be something to that. You know, probiotics are a big deal, and as far as like positive bacteria, all that shit. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have like proper levels of it, especially like with all the preservatives and shit that we eat in the military, like it's complete garbage, and it goes in there and it has to completely destroy anything that is like naturally organic in your body, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know that. I'm not a scientist or a nutritionist.
The biggest thing in the West, the biggest thing with Western medicine is antibiotics.
True.
You get on antibiotics one time and you completely alter the chemistry of your guts.
Well, yeah. And not only that, though, I mean, there's a lot of that shit in our food now. You get to, I guess they're saying that, like, some of this meat and shit that's coming over from China and other countries is so heavily laden with antibiotics that even right now are fucking, illegal to put in livestock's food and all that shit here in the United States. But, well, there, looks like you got yourself another friend there. But, yeah, It's actually they've been doing a lot of studies on it, and it's giving people natural immunities to antibiotics. Like basically, it's rendering them useless. So when these people go into surgery, like because they like to eat the cheap section at Walmart, they're pretty much fucked with staph.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is antibiotics is an amazing discovery. It has saved millions of lives, probably billions by this point.
Right.
But people take pills way too willy nilly. We're addicted to this idea that there's a cure in a bottle. So it's like, oh, I have a little bit of a whatever, antibiotics just to be safe. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if it's not and that's why you end up with people who get a staph infection, and you end up with resistant bacteria to this stuff like that, because your body's way too used to it.
Yeah. Well, the thing too, though, I mean, you're dealing with microbes, and they've earned their right to survive on this planet just as much as anything else. And they're always going to evolve. They're always trying to find that edge to stay alive. And we think because they're single-cell organisms that, you know, they don't possess these advanced capabilities at like survival, but they do. And you pretty much the level of sterilization now in hospitals has actually worked against them, in my opinion. These diseases have been able to just mutate and change, and largely due to just doctors overprescribing this shit. They throw a fuck ton of antibiotics at every single tiny little thing. Guys, people go in for like small, like non-invasive surgeries, you know, scars to get removed, shit like that. And they come out with these really gnarly ass forms of staph where it's like, cool, you know, my psoriasis scar is gone, but, you know, I'm missing half of my right arm. And I don't understand where, I really don't know the solution, to tell you the truth. I just stay the fuck away from hospitals personally.
But your fucking kids play in the dirt.
Yeah, like George Carlin did a good shit on that. I mean, he pretty much, he said the only reason him and his friends didn't get polio was because they swam in the Hudson.
If you kill all the germs around you and live a completely sterile life, then when germs do come along, you're not going to be prepared. And never mind ordinary germs, what are you going to do when some super virus comes along that turns your vital organs into liquid shit? I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to get sick, you're going to die, and you're going to deserve it because you're fucking weak and you got a fucking weak immune system. In my neighborhood, no one ever got polio. No one, ever. You know why? Because we swam in raw sewage. It strengthened our immune systems. The polio never had a prayer. We were tempered in raw shit.
He's turning it into, it's all serious. George Carlin, man.
Yeah.
All seriousness, but in a joking manner. And that's what I'm getting at with let your kids play in the fucking dirt. You know, kids used to play in the goddamn dirt. They'd scrape their fucking knee. They'd just wipe it the fuck off, go on with it.
Right.
And nowadays it's like, oh my God, Bacitrace, and we need to put all this crazy shit on it. Keep it covered. You know, and on the complete on the complete like opposite end of the spectrum, you've got these crazy fuckers down in Florida injecting themselves with fucking snake venom so they can become immune to it.
Right.
This one dude's letting fucking poisonous snakes bite him, or well, not bite him, but he's harvesting the fucking venom from him, and then he's injecting small amounts into himself repetitively over all these courses of years and stuff, to the point where he's injected himself with a lethal dose, and he gets a little bit sick and sweaty for a while, but he's perfectly fucking fine.
Yeah, well, there's another dude that did something like that. Hi, Nika. Look at that, both the kids are in the shot now. But I see Stan Lee's Superhumans. You ever see that show on Netflix? It's pretty fascinating, but Stan Lee and this weird, like, twisty, what do they call them? Contortionists. This weird...
Them twisties, what do they call them?
Yeah. Well, this dude, I'm not even kidding, dude. It shows him, he's, like, twisting himself into a fucking suitcase, dude. And I'm thinking, like, where do you even realize that that's a capability? Like, at what age does that become an option, you know? Like, hey, I can actually twist my body into... But I'm getting off topic here. But anyways, this guy would go around the world and try to find weird people that can do fucking astronomically bizarre shit. Like,
I know exactly what store. What show you're talking about.
Yeah, it's Stan Lee's Superhumans.
Right.
And they fucking... I appear on that show. What's that?
I appear on that show. As a fellow goat, or as a back reconstruction person that supposedly never supposed to walk again.
With his zipper down his dick, wanting to hang out.
Yeah. He's all in full presentation mode here. But yeah, they found this dude who could fucking... What the fuck were we talking about?
Stan Lee, Superhumans. Come on, goddamn.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I can't remember which superhuman we were talking about. One of them.
Well, since I were on the topic of Stan Lee, since you just blew your wad on that, I was on a little jump flight from Phoenix going back to Yuma one time, and I swear to fucking God, we're gonna have to figure out how to get a shot of this on there for everybody to see. Like, I swear to God, it looked like I was flying with Stan Lee. There was like 3 of us on the plane, and of course I did the same thing this old fucker did and go straight to the back because you don't want to be bothered with.
Right.
And the funny thing is, it's like he was trying to fly incognito. He had this like old, like those early 90s, like those plasticky jackets that had the, you know, those little fucking starter jackets from like the early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah.
But it was an old school Phoenix Suns colors and pattern.
It
And I
probably
stared at him for 45 minutes going, that's fucking Stan Lee. So I did the sneaky thing, and I was just like, bam, and fucking busted a picture of him. Everybody I've showed it to is like, dude, that's Stan Lee. I honestly don't think it is. But it's a
Dude,
good
yeah,
conversation.
he swam in a frozen river, dude, for like fucking 30 miles.
On the top of Mount Everest,
And that goes back to your
butt-ass
your
naked for,
mitochondria
like,
and stuff, like what you're
hours.
talking about, single-celled organisms.
Yeah.
Because it's like that dude from the original Dual Survivor, when you had the first original 2 dudes, and the guy that always ran around barefoot.
Yeah.
He could handle that stuff because the mitochondria in his in simple terms, he was used to it.
Yeah.
He could do it.
Yeah.
But us, we've evolved into requiring shoes. I can't walk across the driveway without fucking tiptoeing around like a little bitch.
Right. I mean, this dude could walk over broken glass and gravel.
That's like
He puts a pair of wool socks on and walks in the snow.
Dude, we could fucking run across fucking gravel with no problem. When we got to the, like, 20-plus age, dude, you fucking put shoes on, tiptoe around that fucking shit. No, but it's kids, dude. Fucking cross
Dude, this is the kind of shit that when people eventually see it, they're going to be like, Jesus Christ, Dad just says anything. Right? So my wife randomly texting me right now.
All right.
And she's in bed. She's pissed off because the dogs are barking. She's got dogs in bed snoring with her, whatever, this and that and everything.
Right.
And she's texting me back, I need a straitjacket by the time you get home. And I reply with, or just dick.